Good Friday morning to you. I'm Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Martrich. This is your outlook for Friday the 13th, 2013. And although it is Friday the 13th, we don't have anything that's going to be really affecting our weather in a bad way today. So as far as the weather is concerned, aside from being cold, I don't think you have anything to worry about as far as running into bad luck with the weather. However, we have a big snowstorm that's coming here to our coverage area here for the majority of our coverage area, especially for areas northwest of 995 here. Could get some of the biggest snows they've seen in a couple years, actually, except with exception being northern New Jersey last year. They did pretty well with the snow. Many areas here in interior Pennsylvania, especially get from like Allentown over to Harrisburg and Lancaster, Reading, and those places like that have been a very serious snow hole, like I like to call it. This whole area right here has been really deprived as far as snow is concerned over the past couple of years. In fact, the biggest storm that we've had has actually been on the Halloween snowstorm. Allentown here got 6.7 inches of snow on October 29, 2011. That was the biggest storm we've had since then. That wasn't even winter. Very interesting. We'll go a little bit further here in time now. This is actually looking at Friday evening. We think you're going to have an increase of clouds Friday night. Now, no precipitation yet. The precipitation here is actually moving in from the west here, and you can see that here on the GFS. And then we have some lighter stuff that's going to move in Saturday morning. The GFS has it coming in really early at 7 a.m. I'm not so sure it comes in that early. We're looking for anytime probably like between maybe 8 and 10 a.m. For a start time. Of course, we'll have to narrow that down as we get a little bit closer today with our final call map. We had our first call out last night with an 8 to 10 time frame window of start time here. Then there's Saturday afternoon, and this is looking at some moderate to at times heavy snow moving across here. Now, the GFS is a low resolution model, so it's not going to pick up on the intensity of the snowfall very well. However, we do think that there will be some moderate to even heavy snow, and here you can see that here Saturday evening, some pretty hefty snow rates here from south central PA over to say the Lehigh Valley area here with the heavier, darker bands here. But showing up here is some sleet on right over the Philadelphia area, and just maybe it's a little bit a little bit northwest here. On this image here, and then that moves up into east central northeastern PA. I don't think that anywhere north of, from the Lehigh Valley and points northward, I don't think you're going to get this much icing the GFS is showing. I really don't think this is going to be the end solution here. I wouldn't be surprised if Lehigh Valley does mix at the very tail end here, but I'm not looking at looking at a mostly snow event for these areas in northeastern PA, east central PA, northern New Jersey. That's preliminarily. I mean, this is subject to change, and we have some afternoon model guidance we have to look at before we do our final call on Friday evening at 7 p.m. But this is what we're looking at right now. Then the GFS has the system pulling away. Now the other models here, we'll start with the GFS. GFS, despite that changeover, still has a pretty good swath of snow that's going right through the heart of our coverage area here. And we don't think this is too bad of an idea, but these areas here are actually showing over 6 inches, kind of like a 6 to 8 inch type snowfall. However, this model assumes a 10-to-1 snowfall ratio, and snowfall ratios on all models are assuming 10-to-1. But you're going to have areas during the storm here. They're going to start off up here anyway, up in northeastern PA. You're going to have ratios about 20-to-1 and about 15 to 17-to-1 over in these areas here across for like. From Allentown over to northern Jersey, Sussex especially, have some really good ratios, which means the fluff factor is going to be higher. It'll accumulate faster. And so some of these totals are showing here on the default 10-to-1 ratio might actually even be higher than that, and that's something we're going to have to watch for. And then the same thing happens here on the Canadian here. Same idea, right through our coverage area, same general amounts here on the Canadian. The NAM's a little bit more bullish, but the NAM is a mesoscale model, and it's picking up on one of our wild cards, which is mesoscale banding. And that's showing right here. This is actually convective banding. It's showing up right over here over east central, southeastern PA, northwest New Jersey. Somewhere in this area northwest of 95, wherever that thermal gradient sets up, where you have the cold and the warm air from the south meeting each other, that battle zone right in the middle will produce some really heavy snowfall on the colder side of that line. So right now we think that line is going to set up something like this. Okay, so you're going to go from maybe like Lancaster up to Trenton, up into what is this? Essex County, New Jersey, and then probably just to the northwest of there, I think we're going to have one of these meso bands that are going to set up here. All right, what did I just do here? I don't know what I just did. Okay. I don't know what I did there. Okay, there we go. I had to zoom out there. I don't know what I did exactly there, but one of those meso bands are just going to set up somewhere northwest of that line here. So anyway, we have that in our final call map here. We have this area down here in the light blue are your 1 to 3 inch areas, and then the 3 to 6 line goes right to probably 3 inches, right at 3 inches of Philadelphia. This is the right on the line of the 1 to 3 and 3 to 6. But this area here is a 3 to 6 area here. We cut back a little bit here in the York over to Lancaster. Well, York and Adams counties out in this area, so we think that initially the ratios are not going to be as good down here. You're probably just sticking at about a 10 to 1 ratio, and you might miss out on that early precipitation moving through that'll stay to your north. So we stayed in the 3 to 6 range for this area. But all this dark blue here is 4 to 8. And the purple here is 4 to 8 also. But this is actually a 4 to 8 plus area. This is the area that we have that we think stays mostly snow, if not all snow, and has the highest potential to meet or exceed the 4 to 8 inch projection. So if you're going to have these totals, of 8 to 10 inches or something like that, we're going to see those up here, we think. I think this area has the best chance of seeing that. Not saying it can't happen elsewhere, but I think this has the highest probability of that happening. And then this dash line here, the red dash line, is an area we're watching for that mesoscale banding to set up. So if you would just cut this right down the middle, split the difference of the two, look where this line is. Kind of goes like this. This is where we're thinking somewhere along the line, maybe 30, 40 miles on either side of that line, one of these mesoscale bands set up in here and just bring down in very heavy rates of snowfall, greater than 1 to 2 inches, maybe even 3 inches an hour if you can get a really good band going. But somewhere up here is going to get hit pretty hard. We just don't know exactly where yet, and that's something we have to do while we're looking at the radar and making adjustments on the fly on that day. But because of that reason, we think that somebody up here is going to hit pretty good, and we have that 4 to 8 inch plus depiction right now. Final call will be out tonight, and then we will update it and narrow it down if we need to. But right now, I don't think we're going to be changing too much, just based on what I'm seeing of the overnight run guidance so far. That has run on Thursday evening. Here is the GFS for the rest of the week now, and we have this system here pulling away. That's going to move off to the northeast and see you later. We're going to have another little clipper system that's going to come in here. This is being shown on the GFS and the European model. Very light snow here, but with snow showers nonetheless. Timing's a little bit different between the two. The GFS has it coming in actually Monday night, overnight, and into Tuesday morning. You see these snow showers, just really light snow showers, not a big deal, just a little weak clipper. We have these in the winter sometimes, the northern stream pieces of energy that come through and just drop a quick, you get a quick coating, an inch or two, depending on how strong these things get. But I think that probably would be your upside here on Tuesday. And the European model has the same thing, just the timing's a little bit different. It's actually Tuesday afternoon and Tuesday evening that this snow comes through. So we'll narrow that down as we get a little bit closer. Look for the final call tonight, as we will put that on the announcing that to the Facebook page at 7 p.m. I'm Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Marchers. That is your outlook for Friday, December 13th, 2013. Have a great Friday.